Hello, hello everyone. It's Amanda here. Hope you're all having an amazing Friday. I am busily packing because we are going to try to get up to the mountains for a minute. But the summertime, managing kids being out of school and working and everything else can be a little hectic. But it sure is fun as well. And I am excited to chat with you guys today. So thank you for being here. And feel free to pop on with any questions along the way. I'm going to get rolling in just a second here. But today what I'm going to be talking about is the power of connection. Because we as humans are so wired to connect. It's truly what one of the beautiful, beautiful things about being human is our capacity to love and to connect with others and to connect with ourselves. And I don't know if you guys ever read the book. I'm forgetting the name of it now. But basically, the young boy, he goes into the wilderness all alone and ends up at the end eating a poisonous plant and dying. But he writes on the wall of the bus that he's living in that happiness exists only when shared, which I think is a powerful thing to think about because, of course, connecting with yourself is so important, but also connecting with the world around you. And we are all connected. We are all connected. So honoring that is a beautiful thing. And I want to kind of get started just kind of, talking about what is connection and why it's so important. And honestly, I define it as the ability to, be in presence with someone else. And I also think it's super important to offer that connection to yourself as well. So today I kind of want to break it down and, the power of number one, connecting to yourself, connecting to what you want, and then how that helps you better connect with the world around you. So I will get rolling here. And again, if you don't know me, my name is Amanda Testa. If you're new to the group, I am a sex and relationship coach and the founder of Find Your Feminine Fire, as well as the Find Your Feminine Fire podcast that you can find on iTunes. And I am here to help women to connect to their innate power within and really own their worthiness and own their desires and go after the pleasurable life that we all deserve to lead. So that is a little in a nutshell about me. And so I kind of wanted to get into I like to break down this process because I feel like it's pretty simple. And it really starts with, number one, is kind of reconnecting to this feminine fire that we have within us. I like to call it this like primordial energy, this vivaciousness, this vitality that we all have within us. We all have access to it. But just this day and age, with the constant busyness and stress that we're under, with the conditioning that we've experienced coming along, with the way that we're marketed to as women, it's no wonder that we struggle and that we don't feel good enough and that we feel just overwhelmed all the time. And that really puts a damper on this flame and fire inside of us. And so it's just kind of a gentle process of dusting off all those layers of conditioning and guilt and shame and to-dos and everything else and kind of reconnecting to the core of who we are as women and this amazing power and gift that we have at our fingertips and allowing that to shine forth. And it's a beautiful radiance. And you might notice that with people that you see. If you ever notice, at a restaurant or walking down the street, if you see a woman who is like full of life and radiant and turned on versus maybe a woman who is more closed down and shut off and just maybe living from the head up. And I know how that can be because that was me for many, many years. And I just was in a terrible relationship that was sexless and very unfulfilling for all parties. We were close friends, but that was about it. And there was just no passion there. I was miserable. I was 20 pounds overweight. I constantly numbed out in every way possible to avoid feeling my feelings. And it really was leading me down a very dark path. But thankfully, there was some part of me that knew there was something better out there for me and that I had this special light and to let it shine again. And so I did, and it was a process, and geez, it was not fun. It was very hard and brutal. But I made these steps. I broke off that relationship. I started taking better care of myself. I started doing things that were nourishing and doing things that I wanted to do for me which is something that I hadn't done in a very long time. And through that process, I kind of emerged, and then I was able to kind of reconnect to myself. And then I met my amazing husband, and we got married, and I had a daughter. And after she was born, I kind of went through a little bit of a depression again, feeling disconnected from who I was. And I found that in working with my sexuality, it opened up this huge flow of energy again in my life. And that is something I had never experienced before. And so that is the reason that I started doing this work, is when I started working with my teacher 4 years ago, the amazing Layla Martin. I realized the importance of claiming your sexuality for yourself and connecting to yourself first and foremost. This is a beautiful, beautiful vessel that we get to inhabit while we're here on this plane. And learning to love and embrace all the parts of it are so key. So, yeah, that's the backstory of how I got into this work and why I find it so valuable. But I will say, so I think connecting with yourself and connecting with what you really want is a huge part of it. And number one, connecting with your desires. It's something we get so disconnected from in our life. So I say, number one, just really, I do this all the time, and I probably once a week, I'll make a list. I take a piece of paper, set a timer for 10 minutes, and just tap in to what I really want. What do I want? What do I desire? What do I need to thrive? What will support me? And just start writing those things down. And after 10 minutes, it usually becomes clear what it is that I need, and what it is my body is craving, or what it is my soul is craving, or what it is I want to offer myself. And now I always like to say, when you do this list, is to just go free and wild as you want. Like maybe you want to go travel the world for 2 years without any kind of responsibility. And whether it's realistic or not, it's fun to just write those things down. And then you can kind of weed through that list after you've had a minute to digest. And when you go back through it, like what are the things that you can actually give to yourself in the next week, so you can actually feel that feeling again. And that's a huge part of it, because maybe it's that you just want to feel some freedom, and that's why you feel like you need to get on a plane and travel the world and escape. But maybe you can just find a friend or your partner or a babysitter to watch your kid for a day, an entire day, and take it to yourself and just do absolutely whatever your heart pleases. That may be more realistic, and that's something you could give to yourself. So it's just really making that list and getting a pulse on what your desires are, and knowing that what you desire desires you. And so by tapping into that, you are able to feel what's serving you and what's not. And you can kind of more go on the path that is aligned for you. And the second thing that is really so important in connecting with yourself is connecting with your connecting with your sensuality again. Just your senses and how it feels to be in this body. And it's such a simple thing, because sensuality basically is just tuning in and turning on your 5 senses. So it's something you can do anytime and anywhere. And that's one of the things that I so appreciate about just tapping into your sensuality, because you can do it in any moment. You can drop in and just think, all right, what do I hear around me? And just take a moment and focus on what you hear. And what do you see? And just maybe find something that you really find beautiful. Like I have this lovely picture over here that I just love to look at, and it's so vibrant and colorful. What is it that I'm feeling right now on my skin? And maybe it's even you just touch your skin and feel how your skin feels on your fingertips and how your fingertips feel on your skin. And what am I smelling? And just tap into that. What am I tasting right now? Well, my mouth's a little dry. I need some water. But I taste a little bit of my lip gloss, and I taste my salty taste in my mouth. So you can do that anytime and anywhere. You can do it when you're enjoying a meal. You can do it when you're hugging your child and just like taking them in. You can do it anytime. So it's a very simple practice that just drops you into your body and into your sensations, which is such a beautiful way to connect to your sensuality. The other thing that's so important with this, connecting to the body piece, is just making that a regular practice. So whether it's dropping into your senses, are just dropping in to feel what your body is experiencing. Because as busy women, multitasking is a thing. And whether or not we can actually do that is yet to be determined. I know for myself, it's, I try to multitask all the time. I probably don't get as much done. But it's just kind of the way our modern world is. And so if you take that time to drop out of your head and into your body, it is so powerful to bring you present and to bring you connection with yourself. And it's as simple as, here's another little practice I love. It's just called a simple body meditation. So you'll sit and just lie or sit comfortably for a few moments. I actually like to lie down when I do this. And this is another thing you can do, right when you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed. Again, it's taking advantage of something you're already doing and adding intention behind it. And just lie there for a moment and just kind of give yourself a little scan from head to toe and think, what am I feeling in my body right now? So, and it's just speaking those sensations out loud for 2 minutes. So it's, I feel a tingling in my right middle finger. I feel a little bit of tension and like a burny sensation in my lower back. I feel a gurgling in my stomach. That's exactly what it means. And you just take that time and drop it into your body. And you can fine-tune this even more by focusing just on specific areas of your body. So if you're really trying to open up your sexuality and your pelvis, just spend that time focusing on the sensations that you feel between your belly button and your perineum, and just focus on all the sensations in your pelvis. And that's a really beautiful way to kind of get yourself opened up before intimacy or before a self-pleasure practice, is to just really focus on that area and what you're feeling and what sensations you're noticing. And it's another great way to tap into your body and start paying attention to those sensations so that okay, I'm feeling this way. What does that feel like in my body? So you can get a better connection to your emotions that way as well. So, say when I feel angry, I feel like this huge tension and pressure and constriction here in my chest, and I feel hot in my face. And you can be like, all right, those are the sensations that I associate with anger. Or when I feel scared, what does that feel like? Or when I feel happy, what does that feel like? And just kind of noticing how your body feels and really kind of disconnecting the story around it, but just the sensations. It's kind of a powerful way to digest your emotions and allow them to be experienced fully and run their course. And then another great way to nurture this connection with yourself is, view yourself as a divine being that you are, connecting to the divinity that's within you. And you are perfect. You are here for a reason. And connecting to that and just starting this love affair with yourself, which sounds super corny, I know. I get it. But it works. It is so powerful. If you just start noticing in the morning when you wake up, speak lovingly to yourself. And when you look in the mirror, say compliments to yourself. And it can be very hard at first, I get it. But the more you do it, the easier it is. And then you'll be like, what's up, hot stuff? Looking at yourself in the mirror and feeling like, yeah, I look pretty fucking awesome. And embracing it and enjoying it because, I spent so many years in misery in this body and hating this body. And it has radically transformed. I mean, it is a radical transformation. And as I age, I realize how powerful this is because it's easy to look in the mirror and see the faults. But when you focus on what you do love about yourself, those kind of melt away. And seeing yourself like you would see a newborn baby and how precious and worthy of love it is. You are too. So just kind of reconnecting to that. And I know it takes time, but it's just a practice. And with doing this, you're going to be empowering that part of you that knows that you are worthy and that knows that you are enough. And intentionally feeling into that part and letting it expand is such a beautiful practice. So, and again, giving yourself permission to feel whatever it is, because yes, this journey is not always easy, and just accepting when those emotions come up that are challenging, no big deal. And you can move through them and just allowing them to be and meeting them with loving presence and meeting them with acceptance, allowing them to run their course, and then again, reconnecting to that empowered piece of you that knows you're capable, that knows you're worthy, that knows you can handle whatever it is, you can hold whatever is coming your way, you've got it. It's such a powerful thing. So, in these practices, when you do that connection with your desires to yourself, it so much more enables you to better connect with others, because you'll hear it all the time, and I know it's oversaid, but it's true. Like, you cannot give when you have nothing to give. So you have to nourish yourself, and you have to make yourself a priority and put that connection with yourself and your well-being as at the top priority, because when you're depleted, no one benefits. And I know for myself, I can totally relate to that when there's times where I'm just like overwhelmed and stressed and haven't taken that time to nourish myself, how I'm so much more snappier with my loved ones, and I'm shorter and I have anxiety. But, the more I learn these tools and the more I practice them and the more I can learn what I need, the more I can ask for that too. For example, this morning, we're trying to get out of the house. It's a little hectic. I was feeling a little anxious, being a little short. And I was just called my husband in, and I was like, I need help. And he's like, I don't know how to help you when you're anxious. I was like, remember, I need to hear, like, you're safe and you're loved and we got this. It's that simple, and it might sound corny, but it works. Works for me, for sure. So again, knowing what that is for you. And so learning then, after you've cultivated this connection with yourself and what you really want, how you can bring that into your relationships. And it's so much easier to communicate your needs when you know what they are, and communicate what is you desire and what feels good in your body when you know what they are. But you have to first figure that out for yourself, and then you can share that with your partner. And some of my favorite, most easiest ways to bring in that connection with your partner are, I will just share 3 of the simplest ones. And number 1 is just sharing time together, doing something you both enjoy, because it might be hard to find that time, especially when you're busy and you have kids and this, that, and the other, but you just have to kind of be creative and see when you can sneak it in. Maybe it's right after you put the kids to bed, before you start doing the laundry and the work that needs to be done, so you're not reconnecting at like 11:30 p.m., but maybe just making that a priority, like right after the kids go to bed. Or maybe it's you get a babysitter. But creating time where you can just be together doing stuff that you like that's fun. We always love day dates, because that is actually, it's a lot of times easier to find a babysitter during the day, and you actually get to go and see each other in the light of day when you're not exhausted. So just, like, again, finding time to do something you both enjoy so you can remember why you like each other in the first place. And another easy, great tool, which I know can also be challenging, is just simply looking into each other's eyes. And it can be very hard at first, because it's bringing that intimacy and like really forcing you to connect and be together, and so much stuff can come around about that. But just going into it being, yeah, whatever comes up is cool. If I laugh, if I cry, if I get upset, no big deal. And just start for 30 seconds and just let it build from there, because even in that 30-second time, your body is going to start to connect, and you're going to start to get these little hits of oxytocin, and you're going to feel this connection with your partner. And you can bring it deeper by, making it longer and really focusing on connecting all these different areas of your body, like connecting your eyes, breathing together, putting your hands on each other's hearts. You can even like sit on your partner's lap or have them sit on your lap to just really up that connection. Or even a hug for 30 seconds, because it's that 30-second time frame that's going to trigger those feel-good chemicals in your body. So, second easy one. And then the third one is, I will actually share a link below on how to get this practice, but it's one of my favorites that I talk about a lot, which is just creating a container for you and your partner to have a discussion where you learn not to interrupt each other, you learn to just let the other person speak fully, and you learn to basically hold space for one another. Giving each other a space where they can talk without interruption, knowing they're not going to be yelled at, knowing that you're not going to pick a fight about it or bring it up at a later date, because that's another big part. And doing this, the more you do that, the more you guys are going to build trust with one another, and the more your nervous systems are going to feel safe with one another. Because what can happen, especially in long-term partnership, is that these little things that happen over time can build resentment and build even in your body where you don't feel safe with your partner. So you're constantly like shutting down or like fending off their touch or not feeling open to them. So when you create these containers where you can regularly go, maybe it's, once a week, you meet on the couch or find a place that, in the bedroom, wherever it's a good space where you both feel happy and comfortable. And you take turns asking each other a couple of questions, and you put a timer on for 2 minutes. And during that 2 minutes, you just fully listen to what your partner is saying without interrupting, without starting a conversation around it, but just listening and saying thank you. And then you switch, and then they will ask you, and the same thing. They will 2 minutes not talk and just listen to you. And it's just a great practice to start teaching this safety. Like, you can talk about things that are hard, and you can allow the other person to speak and say what they need to say, so you can feel connected and feel like heard, which is so important, and especially in relationship. So those are kind of some of the keys and the foundationals that I feel are so important with building connection and allowing that feeling of, groundedness, connection, what we all crave. Our hearts really crave that connection. So thank you so very much for listening and tuning in. And if you have questions, please post them below. I will make sure to come back and answer them. And yeah, if you feel like this group has been benefiting you, or you feel like, other friends would have fun being in the group, feel free to invite them as well, because it's the more the merrier. And this is a community, and I want this to be a place where you feel safe to come and can find camaraderie and support and friendships along the way. And if you are looking for more support in that area, I am launching my Sexy Summer Sisterhood starting July 11th. So that is going to be a 6-week group coaching experience where we will have weekly 90-minute sessions, as well as meditations and all kinds of good stuff that you can do at home in between our meetings to support you in really connecting to your feminine fire and igniting that radiance within, so you can feel more confident, so you can have more presence in your relationships, so you can have more fun in your life and really feel like you're taking action towards what you really want and bringing that in. So thanks so much again, and you guys have a great day.